Maritime Labor Convention 2006. The General Conference of the International Labor Organization, having been convened at Geneva by the governing body of the International Labor Office and having met in its 94th session on 7 February 2006, and desiring to create a single coherent instrument embodying as far as possible all up-to-date standards of existing international maritime labor convention and recommendation as well as the fundamental principle to be found in other international labor convention. General Obligation. Article 1. Each member which ratifies this convention undertakes to give complete effect to its provision in the manner set out in Article 6 in order to secure the right of all seafarers to decent employment. Members shall cooperate with each other for the purpose of ensuring the effective implementation and enforcement of this convention. Definition and scope of application. Article 2. Number 1. For the purpose of this convention, and unless provided otherwise in particular provision, the term a competent authority means the minister, government, department, or other authority having power to issue and enforce regulation, orders, or other instruction having the force of law in respect of the subject matter of the provision concerned. Fundamental Rights and Principles. Article 3. Each member shall satisfy itself that the provision of its law and regulation respect in the context of this convention the fundamental rights to freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining, the elimination of all forms of forced or compulsory labor, the effective abolition of child labor, and the elimination of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation. Seafarers' Employment and Social Rights Act. Article 4. Every seafarer has the right to a safe and secure workplace that complies with safety standards. 2. Every seafarer has a right to fair terms of employment. 3. Every seafarer has a right to decent working and living conditions on board ship. 4. Every seafarer has a right to health protection, medical care, welfare measures, and other forms of social protection. 5. Each member shall ensure within the limits of its jurisdiction that the seafarer's employment and social rights set out in the preceding paragraph of this article are fully implemented in accordance with the requirement of this convention unless specified otherwise in the convention. Such implementation may be achieved through national law or regulation, through applicable collective bargaining agreement, or through other measure or in practice. Implementation and enforcement responsibilities. Article 5. Each member shall implement and enforce law or regulation or other measure that it has adopted to fulfill its commitment under the convention with respect to the ship and seafarer under its jurisdiction. Regulation in Parts A and B of the Code. Article 6. The regulation and the provision of Part A of the Code are mandatory. The provision of Part B of the Code are not mandatory. 2. Each member undertakes to respect the right and principle set out in the regulation and to implement each regulation in the manner set out in the corresponding provision of Part A of the Code. In addition, the member shall give due consideration to implementing its responsibilities in the manner provided for in the Part B of the Code. 3. A member which is not in position to implement the rights and principles in the manner set out in the Part A of the Code may, unless expressly provided otherwise, in this convention, implement Part A through the provision in its law and regulation or other measures which are substantially equivalent to provision of Part A. Consultation with ship owners and seafarers organization. Article 7. Any derogation, exemption, or other flexible application of this convention for which the convention requires consultation with ship owners and seafarer organization may, in cases where representative organization of ship owner or of seafarer do not exist within a member, only be decided by that member through consultation with the committee referred to in Article 8. Entry into force. Article 8. Number 1. The formal ratification of this convention shall be communicated to the Director General of the International Labour Office for registration. 2. This convention shall be binding only upon those members of the International Labour Organization whose ratification have been registered by the Director General. 3. This convention shall come into force 12 months after the date on which there have been registered ratification by at least 30 members with a total share in the world gross tonnage of at least 33%. 4. Thereafter, this convention shall come into force for any member 12 months after the date on which its ratification has been registered. Denunciation. Article 9. A member which has ratified this convention may denounce it after expiration of 10 years from the date on which the convention first came into force by an act communicated to the Director General of the International Labour Office for registration. Such denunciation shall not take effect until 1 year after the date on which it is registered. Each member which does not within the year following the expiration of the period of 10 years mentioned in paragraph 1 of this article exercise the right of denunciation provided for in this article shall be bound for another period of 10 years and thereafter may denounce this convention at the expiration of each new period of 10 years under the terms provided for in this article. Effect of entry into force. Article 10. This convention revises the following convention: minimum age, Sea Convention 1920, Unemployment Indemnity, Shipwreck Convention 1920. Depositary function. Article 11. The Director General of the International Labour Office shall notify all members of the International Labour Organization of the registration of all ratification, acceptance, and denunciation under this convention. When the condition provided for in paragraph 3 of Article 8 have been fulfilled, the Director General shall draw the attention of the members of the organization to the date upon which the convention will come into force. Article 12. The Director General of the International Labour Office shall communicate to the Secretary General of the United Nations for registration in accordance with Article 102 of the Charter of the United Nations full particulars of all ratification, acceptance, and denunciation registered under this convention. Special Tripartite Committee, Article 13. The governing body of the International Labour Office shall keep the working on the convention under the continuous review through a committee established by it with special competence in area of the maritime labor standards. Amend, Amendment of this convention. Article 14. Number 1. Amendment to any of the provision of this convention may be adopted by the General Conference of the International Labour Organization in the framework of Article 19 of the Constitution of the International Labour Organization and the rules and procedure of the organization for the adoption of convention amendments to code may also adopted following the procedure in Article 15. Article 15. Amendments to the Code. The Code may be amended either by the procedure set out in Article 14 or unless expressly provided otherwise in accordance with the procedure set out in the present article. Article 16. Authoritative language. The English and French version of the text of this convention are equally authoritative.